What's going on, everyone? So Victor Wembanyama coming into the NBA had a ton of just pressure and expectations on him. Right? Many believed that this was it. I mean, there was talks that, hey, this is the guy that's coming to put an end to the LeBron and Jordan debate because there's no longer going to be a debate. Victor Wembanyama is going to end up being the best player of all time. He already looks like he's headed in that direction. I mean, this dude is clearly special, clearly spectacular. He was named the alien coming in, right? This guy is doing things we've never seen anybody do. He very likely is going to be the face of the league at some point. He's got all the features and tools, right? He's something that we've never seen before. A very talented, gifted player on an organization that has a history of being successful. On top of that, he's got the character and the charisma and all the things that you want for your guy to be the face of the league. Plus, you add in the fact that the NBA is trying to expand and become even bigger globally and is really targeting the world market, trying to be up there with soccer or football, and they want to be that big global sport. It would make sense to kind of have a big global figure like a Victor Wembanyama, who is a foreign player, be the face, right? Now, he has all of the tools, everything in his corner, but there's a lot of expectations in that regard. And he's a rookie. And so far in this season, or especially more so early on, a lot of questions, right? It was like, okay, you're seeing the greatness, you're seeing little glimpses of it, but it's like he's not playing a ton of minutes. He's playing like under 30 minutes a game. And right, like nobody on San Antonio really seems motivated to get him the basketball or put him in a position to be successful, right? It's like, man, they have no real playmakers. There's times where Victor might as well not even be on the basketball court. It is crazy how, for a good chunk of the season, it was like San Antonio could care less that they had Victor Wembanyama. And then you add in the fact that, like, wait a minute, they have a head coach in Gregg Popovich. Why in the world would Gregg Popovich allow this to happen? Now, the minute managing, okay, that makes sense, right? Gregg Popovich is basically the guy that started load managing, right? And resting guys and sitting guys, especially before playoffs and stuff. So Victor playing such few minutes, that wasn't shocking. But the fact that Gregg Popovich isn't trying to shine a light on his franchise player as much as possible, and him also not kind of getting his team to get his best player involved, just a little odd. Because it's like, we all see what's going on. There is no way that Gregg Popovich, who is one of, if not the best coaches ever, is not seeing the same thing. So why is he allowing this to happen? And you could think and put it in perspective of like, well, it's a young team. He's trying to kind of let everyone get their lumps and figure stuff out, right? They're not trying to win, nor are they going to win anything. So you kind of just let things unfold. You kind of lose a bunch of games. You get a good draft pick, and now you got that other franchise piece to pair alongside Victor Wembanyama. Right? There's a lot of ways that you can kind of mold it and shape it to kind of make it make sense, right? But then you've seen sort of the more back half of the season, right? Or especially the last like 10 games or so, even more, right? Victor Wembanyama all of a sudden is starting to play more than 30 minutes a game. You look at the last 5 even, right? He played 31 minutes, 31 minutes, 32 minutes, 34 minutes, and 27 minutes. 2 of those games in which they won, right? And it's like, okay, he's starting to get more shot attempts. He's starting to play more minutes. And he's been absolutely incredible and putting up like historically great stat lines and doing all the things that you are like, wow, what is going on here, right? This guy, like, why are they now just starting to do that? And then kind of dawned on me. Now, again, this is just my theory, I guess, on what Gregg Popovich is doing. But it's something that makes a lot of sense. So let's put our tinfoil hat on for a moment and kind of talk about this. And of course, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. But again, it's just my thoughts. You have this kid come in with insane expectations, probably more expectations than anyone not named LeBron James ever, right? And he goes to a team and the spotlight is on him. And you know that with the hype, Victor, if he's just half decent, he's going to win Rookie of the Year. So what should you do? Do you let him go out there and run the risk early on of him getting exposed and players going after him and targeting him and him kind of going through his lumps, and now all the media and the conversation and all the narrative is, oh, can Victor handle this? Or is he this? Is it really this? Like, and all of the love and hype and excitement and everything that is surrounding Victor, right? Does all of that start to change? Where if early on, you're playing him some nights even only like 20 minutes, right? To 28 minutes a game, and you're kind of just trickling him in. You're picking and choosing where he has it. You're not forcing your team to get him the basketball. So, the media's narrative is like, man, San Antonio really needs a point guard. Man, San Antonio needs to do a better job of getting Victor the basketball. Man, San Antonio's really bad. They're losing, but it's not because of Victor, right? Now, all of the conversation and narrative all shifts to maintain a positive light to Victor. And on top of that, it kind of gets deflected to everyone else. And thus, when Victor has these crazy, insane moments and these, magnificent plays, those get overshined. Those outshadow everything else. And now, once again, the narrative is like, man, this guy, what does he look like playing 34 minutes a game? He's averaging his rookie season 21 points, 10 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.3 steals, 3.4 blocks. He's like leading the league in stocks, and he's already arguably the best defensive player in the league, right? Like, and all of the conversation and all of the narrative all starts to be and shine a positive light on Victor. And you have this, because there are guys like Chet, stuff that early on you saw. What was the conversation early? Oh, Chet's coming for that Rookie of the Year. Chet might be the. And now we're getting towards the end of the year, and now that all of the conversation has kind of changed a little bit, what happens? Pop goes, all right, now that Victor has his legs under him, has that understanding, has that bearing, right? He's not going to get exposed like he would have early on because he's already had the amount of games and the court time and all the things, and has kind of figured it out a little bit, right? More so than he would have early on. So now let's ramp his minutes up a little bit. Let's make sure that there's that clear separation between him and Chet. Let's make sure that conversation of like, oh man, could Chet end up winning Rookie of the Year? Let's make sure we can get rid of that, right? Let's make sure that that's something that is gone and out of the way. And to me, it kind of sounds and seems like a brilliant masterclass by Gregg Popovich. Again, it's just my thoughts. It's just my theory. I could be completely wrong. But it's kind of odd that Victor didn't play a ton. There were games and even halves where, it was like he might as well not even have suited up. There was times where he's out there and he's not even getting the basketball. Everyone's overlooked. And it's like, there's no way Gregg Popovich doesn't see this. There's no way why isn't Gregg Popovich trying to change that? Why isn't he correcting that? Why isn't he on these players to get your best player the basketball? Blah, blah, blah. All of the narrative and conversation. It's just, you start stacking up these things and it's like, all right, like this is starting to create a pile of like okay, this might be what it is. And to me, it's brilliant because you shielded and protected your star. You saved him from all the early lumps and all of the narrative changes and oh man, like, oh, he's coming to reality, but right now all of a sudden it's like, man, this guy is impressive. This guy's doing this. Now you're ramping up his minutes as we're getting towards the end of the season, right when you're really starting to where you really want to start ramping up the rookie of the year conversation and all that stuff. Again, could be completely wrong, but it's a very interesting thought in my opinion. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think that this is plausible? Do you think that this makes sense? Do you think, nah, just how it's played out this season? Again, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.